Hi, Rob at the Rock Shop here. Today we are going to go over Yakima's front loader. This is a rooftop bicycle mount, one of two current models that Yakima is offering. So an upright model means that both wheels of the bike stay on the bike. So wheels and frame, everything just goes up on the roof, no removal whatsoever. So we'll take it from the box. We'll go over what you get in the box, assembly, any assembly that's required. We'll also go ahead and install it onto the rack that we have behind us, which is a Yakima Jetstream roof rack. That one's on using the Ridgeline towers on a vehicle with a flush rail. And we've also got a bicycle, so we'll load it up and just show you what's involved and give you any tips along the way as they come up. So yeah, let's go ahead and open this up. But first, just want to point this out to you. So we ordered this directly from Yakima, and it arrived with all of this extra tape, and it looks like one of the ends actually came open. So even dealers, we get product that doesn't necessarily look like it's in great condition, but it's strictly just the box. Product in here is just fine. So what we try to do here at the Rack Shop, we try to reserve these for in-store customers. So if somebody comes in, wants to take one to go or have it installed, we'll use these in-house. If we do happen to ship you one of these, so if you ordered online and you receive one that's all taped up like this, it's likely because it's one of the last ones in stock, so we wanted to get the product out to you ASAP. But the product is perfectly fine, so you can open it up and be good to go. But oftentimes we'll add either additional tape, maybe add a little note saying that, you know, if we've opened it up to check it, make sure it's good, or even add additional packaging. So just a little, just want to let you know that there. So actually, before we open it up, because you probably want to know dimensions, so if you order this to your work and you need to get it home, should fit in most vehicles, but you're looking at about 57 inches long, 8.5 by about 10. And the weight package is roughly 18 pounds. The rack itself, the mount, is about 14 pounds. Okay, so let's open her up. Got our little box cutter here. All right, cut the extra tape. Yeah, traditionally, I believe it only has just a couple pieces of tape here, and it looks like, in this case, FedEx, they went ahead and added some extra tape for us to keep it all together. So thank you, for FedEx, for helping us out there. All right, so we'll go ahead and, more additional tape. Okie dokie. All right, so here we go. First thing you want to do is pull out your instructions and this read me first sheet. Before you make the purchase and before you install it, you want to make sure that you thoroughly read the instructions. There are bike specifications, so this may or may not work for your bike. It does work with a lot of bikes, but not every bike. So you want to make sure you read through these details before you purchase. And we'll go over those specs at the end of the video. So either fast forward or just hang around, and we'll go over that at the end. In the meantime, we'll just set these down here. On the inside, if you want to take a look, see it's packaged very nicely. So again, even though if the outside box is a little beaten up, you do have extra protection on the inside. So a bunch of cardboard to keep the product stable, extra poly bag to help protect it. And I don't know if you can see here, but there's a bunch of scratch marks on this plastic bag, but if you look at the product, good to go. All right, let's pull this out. Okay. Pull that aside. All right, just gonna get all the cardboard separators. Okay, so should be everything from the box. Yep, and I'm just gonna throw this aside. We'll recycle that here in a bit. All right, let's go ahead and reveal the bike mount. So we've got two plastic bags, one for the back half, one on the front half. There we go. So the rack is actually fully assembled and ready to rock and roll, but we'll go over a few things here on the table where it's a little bit easier to go over it with you. Okay, so the way this works, you've got a couple of hoops. Got this larger one here, and this will actually is adjustable for different wheel sizes. So from 20 inches all the way up to 29, a little asterisk by that. We'll go over details later. But you can flip these and then adjust this hoop to where you need it. So I'll just leave it at the, where was it? Factory default was here. We'll adjust it for the bike later. But the way it works, the front wheel is actually gonna be mounted here. So as you place the front wheel here, it's gonna pull this back hoop up against the wheel. So your wheel is gonna be mounted here. It's gonna kind of sandwich your wheel. And the way it does that, you'll actually twist this knob, this red knob here, and that'll bring the tension on this to press it up against and keep the bike secure. So righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. If you saw me just put this in the holster, it's a built-in cable. So you actually have some security elements that are available to you. However, it is optional to use, so Yakima includes the locks separately. One reason why they include locks separately, let's say you are going to go with the Yakima roof rack and Yakima bike mounts. Well, if everything came with keys and locks, that would have a different lock. This would have a different lock. If you put in 2 bike mounts on there, it's likely that's to have a second lock. Anyways, so Yakima has the SKS same key system, and that allows you to buy packs of 2, 4, 6, or 8. So if you want key match items, you can do that. And later down the road, you can actually order more of your specific lock core, and that way you can have, all your accessories for one car key match. You could have your whole family's fleet of cars and accessories key matched. It's a really cool system to have. But if you feel like you want that extra security, pick up a set of locks. This one will actually take 2, one for the cable and one for the mount to lock it to the bars. So the way this would work, you just mount this around the frame of the bike, insert that, lock it up, and be good to go. But in the meantime, we're just going to stow it within the supplied clips and little holster. Okay, so we'll go ahead and fold this down. Show you a little bit about how it mounts. So here at the front, you can see this. Here's where you would insert the SKS lock core for the front if you chose to go that route. What that does, it actually locks this turn knob from being able to be twisted. So when it's clamped down, you can't loosen it up. And the way this works, you've got this centerpiece here. So this will rest on the crossbars, and this will come from the back side of the bar. So you twist it and it'll clamp on the bar. Hopefully you can see that. Pretty straightforward. And for the rear, if you're familiar with the Yakima forklift, it's similar, actually it's the same mount to that. So here these both adjust. This is your rear wheel holder. This has a ratcheting strap. So you can just feed that through, that tightens the wheel. You can loosen that up, and you can actually, when you're getting ready to load a bike, you can actually fold that back, and it's easier when it's mounted. And then fold that back, and that holds it in place, so it allows you to more easily mount your bike. So the rear mount and rear holder will slide back and forth. If you need to bring this wheel holder on the further in for like a shorter kid's bike, this end cap will easily come out, and then you can actually flip these around and then have the wheel holder on this side and then your mount on the far side. So different ways you can have that arranged. But back to this guy. We have just a wing knob here, so we'll loosen this. Shop manager, working hard. Okay, so we've got it loose, and the way this works, you've got an under bracket here, and there's actually a T-bolt. See that here? And on the bottom of this bracket, there's an opening. So when this bolt is parallel to the tray, that'll actually go, there we go. Okay, so that'll fit through that slot, give it a quarter turn, and then now it'll catch on the bracket and you can tension it. And this bracket is actually gives you different adjustable points. So this comes off and there's 3 positions here, top, middle, and lower. And that's to help accommodate different thickness load bars. So if you're gonna do something like the Yakima round bar, Thule square bar, those are thinner in diameter. That's gonna be the top one. Probably a lot of OEM factory bars will be that one. And for this bar and other bars, you can adjust accordingly. So for ours, I believe it's the second one. So we'll go ahead and pre-install it there. But again, we can change that and adjust it as needed. So that's pretty much it for here. Next step, we'll go ahead and lay it on the vehicle and show you how to actually tension it and the rest of the steps from there. So hang on a sec, we'll get it repositioned and get this mounted. Okay, so we've got the bike rack resting on the crossbars, and we'll go ahead and tighten up the front. And what I like to do here, just go ahead and kind of push that to where the head unit is on the bar. You can pull this knob out to pull out the slack, and that'll kind of help speed up the process as far as grip tightening that down. So what you're gonna do is just get that nice and firm, where you shake the unit and it doesn't slide. You give that a good shake, make sure that doesn't move, and then you're good to go. If you have the SKS locks, you can go ahead and lock that up so you don't forget about the locking it. And then we'll move the camera to the left, clearly the left. And mount the rear. So here we can kind of lift up on the tray a little bit and then slide the mount further forward. We'll lift this a little bit. All right, that's position. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and lift the hoop out of the way. Slide my bracket into position. And it looks like I need a little more slack on the bolt. Loosen that up a little more. All right, and give it a quarter turn. Start tightening it up. I'm gonna come to the back of the vehicle, and yeah, the design of the front head unit will pretty much get your bike mount straight forward and backwards, so you don't have to worry too much about lining it up. We go ahead and give it some tension, tighten it up there. And this one's gonna be nice and firm. And what you wanna do is, after you've got it mounted, shake it pretty decent. Make sure there's no slippage of the mounts to the bars. If it does slip, then you need to go ahead and re-tighten it back up. One kind of crucial fitment note here is that with these upright carriers, the bikes are generally shifted to the back or the tray's longer, which means that on the rear, see if you can see the rear. Yeah, excuse me. This rear tray can stick out. So you want to be careful when you open up the rear hatch that it's not going to make contact. So you want to make sure, check that out before installing or opening up your rear hatch. So, okay, from here, we are going to, let's see, tighten. Yeah, I think we're ready to load a bike. So I get the front hoops in position, big one up, little one down, and we'll get in better position to get this bike loaded. Okay, so we've got our bicycle here, just a standard road bike. And here's where we can give you a tip on how to make it a little easier to load, or yeah, I guess load the bike. Instead of just picking it up here and trying to mount it, you actually want to get low on the bike. So just go ahead and crouch down, grab low in the fork, low in the frame, use your legs and lift it up. And that'll give you plenty of height to get that mounted. So another tip, if you notice, I put myself between the bicycle and the car, and that's to protect the vehicle. Let's say you're on this side, maybe you misjudge when you raise it, or lower it, that's a good way to get a pedal scratch on your vehicle. So make sure you put yourself between the car and the bike. So easy as that. And I'll get on this side because this is on the passenger, and this can be mounted on the driver's side as well. But again, just make sure you get nice and low and lift up, and then you can go from there. Okay, gonna get our bike mounted here, and I'll go ahead and start lay the back wheel down so I can focus on the front. What we'll do here is go ahead and just roll it forward. It's just the hoop, and roll this guy as far forward as it can go. I've already adjusted the front wheel holder to the correct wheel size. So with that kind of loosely pressing on there, I'm gonna go ahead and take the slack out of this red knob on the front. Again, this is the one that's gonna apply that pressure to that front wheel clamp. Okay. All right, as it starts getting firm, and keep in mind, before you have this completely tight, you wanna make sure you don't let go of the bike. Wait until you've got it properly secured. Okay. So again, this one goes pretty firm. There we go. That feels good. So give it a good shake, make sure everything's still nice and stable. So if that's good to go, then we can look at the rear. And here, what we do is you can actually lift the bike and slide the wheel holder into place. What you want is that wheel holder to be directly centered underneath the axle, which we have it now. And we'll go ahead and get the strap, feed that into the ratchet, pull that nice and tight. So effectively, you're good to go. The next step here, if you're utilizing the cable, go ahead and detach those, wrap it around the frame, and then at that point you would have the bike locked to the mount locked to the bars, and if your bars are locked to the vehicle, everything is secure. So that's the install of the bike. If you want to remove the bike, it's just everything in reverse. Easy as that. Now some specifications on this mount. It'll actually cover wheels from 20 inches to 27.5 inches, up to 3-inch wide tires. And it will work with 29-inch bikes if the tire is 2.7 inches or smaller. So this rack will also handle bikes up to 30 pounds if it's got a crossbar spacing of 16 to 18 inches. From 18 inches up to 42, it can handle up to a 40-pound bike, and bikes with a wheelbase of up to 48 inches. That's axle to axle. Another fitment note, if you are fitting this onto factory OEM bars, you want to make sure there's at least 1.5 inches clearance between the roof and the bars. Other than that, again, this package is about 18 pounds. The product itself is roughly about 14 pounds. This is one of 2 Yakima upright carriers. The other one is the High Road. If maybe this is too much weight to lift up, you might consider doing either a hitch mount or one of Yakima's fork mount carriers, because you are removing the front wheel, which is a good amount of weight. So that might make loading and unloading a bit easier if you're having challenges with this. But yeah, this is a great option, especially if you do maybe some mountain biking where your bike gets real dirty, you don't want to take off the wheel and throw it inside, or you don't want to do any disassembly at all. Great way to throw your bike up on the roof and get it going. So if you have any questions on this, click the link in the description. For more details, pricing, reach out via email, hello@therockshop.com, or feel free to give a call, or hey, swing by the shop. I'd be happy to go over these options with you in person. And other than that, hope this was of some use to you, and can't thank you enough for watching. So thanks.